Howdy and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over how to set up and wear your Appendix holster so that it is the most comfortable for you. The first thing that we need to do is we need to adjust the retention of the holster. We need to make sure that the holster is grabbing the gun as tightly or as loosely as you want it. You've got to find the happy place to where it's got good enough retention to where it doesn't fall during normal activities, during normal movement, mild to moderate physical activities. That gun should not move, but you also don't want it to be too difficult to pull out when the time comes. So you need to find that middle ground, that happy place to where it still gives you good access, good retention, but it's not too difficult to pull out. On this holster right here that I'm wearing, that retention spot is that screw right here. A lot of times on Kydex holsters, they are kind of in that same spot. So whatever you need to do, as soon as you get that retention set how you like it, make sure to blue Loctite those screws so that it does not move, and then just check it every once in a while. Once we've adjusted our retention, we need to adjust the loops of our holster to make sure that they fit to our concealed carry belt. Every single one of my holster has soft loops. I honestly feel that's the way to go to ensure 100% retention on the holster so that it does not come out of the belt. Haven't tried any of the new metal clips that they've come out with recently, but soft loops, they're easy to get on, fairly easy to get off, and 100% retention. I've never had a holster come off from my belt while wearing soft loops. Nonetheless, what we need to do is these soft loops right here, I need to make sure that I wrap or I size that soft loop, and you can see the adjustment holes right there. I need to adjust that soft loop to where it snugs or it grabs my belt as tightly as I can. The majority of the belts that I wear are 1.5 inches. My leather belt is a little bit thicker than this, but actually I have these soft loops geared to fit that leather belt as best as possible, so that when I wear this nylon webbing belt, it fits just nicely. So we need to make sure to adjust our soft loops to where it grabs the belt as firmly as possible, to where there is no slop or no play between the soft loops and the belt. I don't want any type of movement. I want to make sure that that is secure as possible. Now let's talk about the ride height of your holster. And what am I talking about? That holster needs to be high enough on your belt line to where you can get a good grip of that gun when it is still holstered. So between the top of my belt and my grip right here, I've got enough area in there to where I can get a good grip. Kind of here's where the double-edged sword comes in. I want to keep this gun as deep down in my pants as possible, and that's regarding either appendix or strong side. I want to conceal as best as possible, but I also need to make sure that the gun sits high enough to where I can get that good grip. This is where you're going to have to play with it. You're going to have to do some adjustments, wear it for a few days, figure out what works for you. But it needs to be just high enough to where we can grab that gun, but still kind of sitting low enough to where it's concealed. The holsters, or the adjustment method on this holster to do that, is right here. So once I've adjusted my soft loops to my belt, then I can adjust that ride height. A trick that I want to show y'all that I learned from Scott Jedlinski of the Modern Samurai Project, it's this little foam wedge on the back. This is actually yoga block material that I got from Amazon. I think you can get 2 blocks for $9. It is very, very inexpensive. You can cut this to your desired shape, sizes, however intricate or how simple you want to be. And you can either use some hot glue or Velcro, which is probably a better option. Another thing too you can see as it gets more towards the end of the gun, it actually has an angle to it. So what that does, that is key to both your holster being comfortable and concealment. So what that wedge does is that wedge actually pushes against my body, drives the grip in but then also helps tilt it a little bit. So a wedge, that foam wedge, is a great addition to your holster. If you don't have an Appendix holster with some type of wedge, either built-in or aftermarket, you're doing yourself a disservice. You really, really need one. So that wedge, like I said, keeps that grip pressed in to my body, and then it's angled a little bit. And then last, your Appendix holster needs to have some type of claw. Tenacor holsters, I love their Appendix holsters. They have their wedge built in, but what that wedge does is it pushes the back of the belt and helps tuck that grip in even more. Before we talk about placement, I want to talk about how the size or the length of the slide carrying Appendix benefits or hinders your ability to carry. So if you're carrying Appendix or any type of concealed carry, remember the slide is the easiest thing to conceal. That is the one that's pointing vertically, that is in our pants. The grip or the frame is the most difficult thing to conceal. Here's the catch though with Appendix. Longer slide guns and holsters that accommodate larger guns are beneficial compared to other guns. I've tried to carry, for instance, an M&P Shield Appendix. The problem is the holster that I had and the slide of the gun, there was not enough material pressing against my body for when I adjusted that ride height, that gun started to tilt out. So longer slided guns and holsters that are meant for bigger guns, longer slides, those are better because there's still material, there's still holster that is pressing up against your body that prevents that gun from tilting out. So just remember, if you plan on carrying Appendix or even strong side, don't be afraid to go with that longer slide gun, or even that holster that's designed for, if you're carrying a Glock 19, that holster that's designed for 17 or whatnot. So the longer that slide or that holster can sit down in your pants, especially with regards to carrying Appendix, the better it will help with keeping that gun from tilting out. Now let's talk about placement. This is going to have to be something, once again, that you're going to have to play with. Me personally, 12 o'clock, I carry about 12:30 or 1 o'clock. That V be right here in my abs, by my leg, and then your nether regions, that's typically where I carry. That wedge helps keep that muzzle pointed out to where it's not pointed at anything vital. It helps it wear very, very comfortably. Just remember, with any type of concealed setup or whatnot, you are at your most vulnerable when you reholster that gun. So when the gun's in its holster, it's safe, nothing's going to go wrong. It's not on the draw, it's on that reholster where we need to be the most careful. Appendix carry is not any more dangerous than any other way to carry. I've seen people, when they reholster carrying 3 or 4 o'clock, they'll actually point that gun in to find that holster to put that gun back in. Just remember, Appendix is not any more dangerous than any other way. If it's done the right way, it is extremely safe and it is extremely comfortable. I thank y'all for watching. Hope some of this information has helped you out. If you're thinking about carrying Appendix, give it a shot. Remember, you've got to have a good belt and a good holster paired with a good gun. If you don't have all those 3 pieces together, you're doing yourself a disservice. A good holster is going to drastically affect your carry experience. So don't skimp, guys. Get some good stuff. So good gun, good belt, good holster. Thank you all again for watching. If you enjoyed the videos, please click like and subscribe, and comments, put them down below, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.